Good morning. It is April 29th, 2025, and it is 11:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday time here at WiLS. I am excited to welcome you to another great session where we will be hearing from, well, actually three of our vendor partners, but two of them or one of them is doing two different sessions about two different topics. So it's kind of a fun little switch up for today's agenda. You can see here on the screen. But to get us started, I am pleased to welcome first-time Taco Tuesday presenter Allie, coming to us from Bloomsbury. Allie, are you ready to sort of take the reins here?
Sure, let me go ahead and share my screen. Hi, everybody. Let me get situated here. And all right, you should be able to see my screen right now.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Okay. Hello. I'm very excited to be here. I'm coming to you from Texas, where we love our tacos. So I'm really excited to be here for a Taco Tuesday. My name is Allie. I am a curriculum PD specialist with Bloomsbury ABC-CLIO. And before I joined the Bloomsbury team, I was a children's librarian in a public library. So I'm very excited to chat with you all today about a few of our databases that I think you're going to like. I am here with Paul Webb, one of our education sales specialists. And Paul, if you at any point need to interrupt or want to say something, please feel free to jump in. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Today we are talking about Bloomsbury ABC-CLIO databases. If you are unfamiliar with them, they are filled with diverse digital resources meant to empower teaching and learning, specifically in the humanities. On our agenda today is a quick look at two of our newer databases, Women's History in the United States and Shakespeare's Globe Video Collection. Since we're looking at two, we have limited time. So please note I'm going to be highlighting a few features that I think you'll love, but we won't necessarily be getting into the basics of how they function. If you're interested in setting up a free trial so you can explore these resources more fully, please reach out to either Paul or I'm sure Jeff, and we can get you situated and figure out how to make that work. And then of course, I'm going to save a few minutes just at the end for just in case we have questions. So with that said, let's jump over and I'll give you a peek at the Women's History database. As you may have guessed from the name, this database provides a window into what women specifically were experiencing during US history. The database has over 3,000 primary and secondary sources and also includes tutorial videos, activities, and educator resources. So there's a huge amount of information in this database for you. There is a large list of time periods to explore, ranging all the way from Indigenous life pre-contact through to the present day. And not only is this database exploring what women were doing during the Wild West or World War II, but we're also looking at perspectives from women of color and shining a light on their experiences throughout history as well. This product can be a great supplement for history textbooks and databases that either overlook this information or just maybe don't have the space to include it. I'm going to take a second and showcase just an example of an interesting search, something that you could do to find some really valuable primary sources. Of course, you could always just search with this search bar here, but I'm just going to jump into advanced search to save some time. And I'm going to do a search for oral history. This is a great way to get lots of really interesting firsthand accounts. And you can either filter by material type. I'm not going to do that today, or we can filter by time period and topic center, which I will do. So let's look specifically at World War II. And now we can just look at this wide variety of resources, lots of really interesting, engaging primary sources that your students could really use to get interested in what's going on. We have actual audio interviews with women from the time talking about defense plant workers, women's Air Force service pilots, being an FBI code breaker, We have a video of Sandra Oh reading excerpts from an essay about Japanese American incarceration. There's an interview with a real-life Rosie the Riveter. There's just so many very cool, interesting things when you search for those oral histories to get those firsthand accounts. So that's what I always like to look at. But of course, you have some freedom to explore lots of different sources depending on what you need. In addition to searching for just specific topics, you can also explore content through these time periods. So what we call topic centers are broken up into these time periods. They make it really easy to explore a specific subject because all of the relevant information and activities are all in one place. All of the topic centers have a similar layout, so we can go into, if we go into the Road to Suffrage, we'll see we have 3 topic centers, each on a specific subject. So if we go into suffrage and women of color, this is what a typical topic center will look like in this database. They will all follow the same format. We start with an overview where we get, of course, some background information and context. There are related entries on the side that we can easily navigate to. And many topic centers will also include ready-made activities. And these are great. They all have an inquiry question for students to work on. They include sources to explore and an activity worksheet that is ready to use. Students can fill this out as a fillable PDF right here in the database, or you can print and pass out hard copies in class. You'll also notice this little button here for the curriculum guide. This is one of the educator resources that this database includes. Curriculum guides are sort of meant to be a high-level look at what's included in topic centers that teachers can use for planning purposes. So this topic center curriculum guide will give you the key questions that the topic center is looking at, activities that are included, and research lists, which include primary and secondary sources. Oftentimes, activities will also include educator guides to give you more information on how to implement or differentiate the activities. And if we real quickly just go into the basic curriculum resources, I want to showcase, so there are many more things to explore on this side, but today I'm going to look at bell ringers because this is a really interesting part of this database. We have all of these, over 30 bell ringers just for you. When I say bell ringers, I mean that they are kind of short introductory activities you can do at the beginning of the lesson to kind of introduce the subject. And each of these bell ringers will include the actual source. Many of them focus on primary sources. There is an overview, instructions, differentiation, and they include an extension piece, which connects to a corresponding activity within this database. So you can start with this bell ringer, go to the corresponding activity, and really just use all of these ready-made resources to create some cohesive lessons without a ton of work on your part. If you are watching today from a public library and not a classroom, I think it's worth noting that these educator resources could also be valuable to families who homeschool, especially if they need help building lesson plans or are looking for ready-made activities to help support their instruction. So that is a very quick look at the women's history in the United States database. I want to make sure we also have some time to look at our Shakespeare's Globe video collection. So we're going to switch over to that right now. But if you have any questions, please save them and let me know, and we can try to answer them at the end of this presentation. So this is our video collection for Shakespeare's Globe. This is super exciting because this is not limited to social studies or history teachers. This is a great resource for theater and English teachers. And this database provides full-length videos to 10 of Shakespeare's most studied plays. Every one of these plays is filmed and performed at Shakespeare's Globe Theatre in London, so you and your students will have a front row seat to watch these professional actors bringing the text to life. I'm a bit of a theater nerd, so I've always thought that Shakespeare is really meant to be performed, but of course not everybody will have the opportunity to see that live theater production. So we are definitely excited to offer these 10 plays for you and your students to explore. I'm going to jump into one of these plays and just show you what it looks like. When you choose one, you are taken to the full-length video right away. So we could watch Romeo and Juliet. I'm not going to do that because we don't have 3 hours, but one of the functions of this database is the ability to search the accompanying transcript for a specific line, and then we can jump to that line in the play. So I'm going to do a quick search for this line, and this will give us a chance to see just a little tiny bit of the iconic balcony scene.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon that is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I wanted to show a little bit of a video, just so you could see how the plays are filmed. What I love about the way they're filmed is that the camera doesn't stay in one position for the entire play. You get close-ups of actors in key moments and different dynamic shots to really give you a good look at all of the exciting things happening on stage. Just like our last database, this is considered a topic center, so all of the information about Romeo and Juliet will be in the same section. So you can navigate through the left-hand menu to get some more information about this play. Every play will include easy to understand summaries of every single scene. They're divided up by act. And then you also get those ready-made activities. So this specific activity is looking at theme. You get some extra information, a helpful reference article about understanding theme, and then that ready-to-use worksheet as well. As far as the curriculum guides go, this database also includes plenty of educator resources as well, including key questions, educator guides. This database includes articles to help the teacher or educator get a little bit more background information if needed. But one thing I wanted to point out is every play will include this overview tab. And in this overview tab, you get timestamps of every single scene and act in the play, which can be super useful for lesson planning if you're looking for a certain aspect. The last thing I want to point out is the research list, which is back on the homepage. And these include editor-made lists of each play. We have the top most popular famous scenes in an easy list just for you to watch. If you can't get through the full play and you just want to look at specific scenes, this is a great place to come to see those specific scenes. Okay, and with that, I'm going to bring it back. That was a lot, fast and furious. I did want to mention that our Shakespeare's Globe Theater collection is the only ABC-CLIO database that is available as both a subscription model and a perpetual access purchase model. So if you are interested in just paying one time and then having access to that forever, the Shakespeare's Globe video collection will let you do that. And I'm sure Paul would have extra information for you on that. And we'd be happy to help you with any further questions. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out and listening. Did we have any questions that I needed to answer?
Hi, Allie. I haven't seen any questions
Okay.
yet, but of course, if anyone does have any questions, please do feel free to put them into the chat window, or of course, you can always email us here at WiLS@wils.org, or I'm sure Allie wouldn't mind if you reached out to her, and I know
Of
Paul
course not.
reach out to him. So we will definitely find the right person to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much, Katie. Great presentation. Or sorry, Allie. I was looking at Katie's name below you. Thank you, Allie. Good job.
No problem.
All right. Well, with that, why don't let me kind of share my screen for just a moment to get us ready for our next presenter. Joining us again for another Taco Tuesday, I'm pleased to welcome back Julie Wang. Julie, are you ready to take over and present to us about Docuseek?
Yes, thanks, Jeff. I will share my screen. Can you see the first slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Okay, as Jeff said, I'm glad to be a part of another Taco Tuesday. It's good to be back. Thanks for setting this up. And so again, my name is Julie Wang, and I am part of the sales and marketing team at Docuseek. And I primarily focus on sales and marketing to the K-12 market, as well as I do marketing for higher ed globally. So I'll be giving you an overview of Docuseek and explain our new content and subscription offerings. Okay, so what's Docuseek? Gosh, now it's more than, I want to say we're approaching 15 years. We've been around for about 15 years, and it was launched by two very long time standing educational film distributors, Bullfrog Films and Icarus Films. And Docuseek is a streaming platform that brings you highly curated, independent social issue and environmental documentary films to academic institutions. Now, I will say we did just launch our public library program. So if you're interested in public libraries, we can now help you. The other things to note is that our films cover pretty much every academic discipline, subject area, major. And what's unique about Docuseek is that all of our content is exclusive. And that's exclusive content from more than 30 leading educational distributors. If we do offer non-exclusive, those are included as bonus, so you don't pay the same amount as you would for an exclusive title. But like I said, most of our collection is exclusive, and we are currently at over 2,800 titles. Plus, we have some exciting new add-on collections that we are incorporating. Now, I won't go into all of this, but I will say that this is a pretty comprehensive list of our streaming features. I will just point out the most frequently asked questions. Our content is available, 24/7 with unlimited simultaneous access. We set up our platform through your IP proxy, single sign-on, and it can integrate with any LMS system or any LMS. We also license individual titles all the way to the entire catalog. Our terms start at 1 week, go up to life of file. We support accessibility requirements such as closed captioning. And we also have easy to access tools on our dashboard, such as analytics, searchable transcripts. And we also have curriculum guides for select titles. If you register on our website, anybody can register. You can preview up to 10 minutes of the title instead of just watching a 1 to 2 minute trailer. Just set up a quick login password, then you can browse around that way. And we do offer free 30-day trials. So those are streaming features. And here are our subject areas. I like to show this just so you can see how diverse and wide our collection is. I will say our most popular, strongest subject areas are anthropology, film studies, health, social studies, global studies, sustainability, women's and gender studies. As I mentioned, we have a very highly curated collection, and on our main website, you can just take a deeper dive and browse by subjects to see if you'd like to license any of our titles. And here's another thing. I know we are all aware of all the theme months and that come up, but you know, this it's a tool that most people forget about, myself included. But if you ever in both ways, if you have our collection, you want to know how to promote it, these are some themes you can work them around, or on the other side, you have something coming up. We will more than likely have something to cover that theme. And here's another slide just to illustrate some of our distributors that we have on our platform. So I guess looking at this, you can say we represent the streaming media of these distributors. A lot of them are small. They don't have the capacity to set their own platform. So that's where we come in and we work with the film distributor to make sure that they have a way to stream their titles. And this is just a slide to illustrate just some of our new releases that we acquire on a, I would say, quarterly basis. They get pushed out to subscribers. So this is some of our latest offerings that that you can see. And I'll say as a side, you know, what's great about our company, you know, we're teeny tiny, about five of us. So we have very good relationships with our filmmakers, our distributors, our institutions. So we understand what kind of content that that is needed. Okay, let me move on. So I will start out with our flagship collection. So if you're not in a position, sorry, if you would like to subscribe to the entire collection instead of licensing titles one by one, just to kind of, you know, get it out of the way. We see it all the time. Faculty requests and teacher requests come up all the time. And to subscribe to our flagship collection, you are covered. And currently we have grown to 3,000 exclusive titles, which will reach by the end of next year already. And our primary model for this is that we do offer 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. But what's great is we want to give you something in return for your subscription money. So for the 1 year and 3 year subscriptions, you're able to keep a certain number of titles at the end of the subscription period. And that could be any title of your choosing. It doesn't have to be the ones that were accessed the most. And this is just another slide to illustrate. So Bullfrog Films, I mentioned, is one of the founders. So we have, it's one of the largest collections on Docuseek. So this is some of the Bullfrog titles that were recently released. Our second biggest collection is from Icarus Films, and they represent degenerate films, which are films from mainland China. So they, whereas Bullfrog Films, you know, not to generalize, but they, you know, like to focus on sustainability, environmental issues. Icarus Films focuses more on global films and global issues. And I just like to throw this in there. We'll Make Movies is also another popular collection that we are adding titles to every quarter, as well as Collective Eye, which is another popular collection, which are all included in the main collection or for individual licenses. Now, we wanted to launch a K-12 collection. You know, one of the main reasons being some of the, you know, a lot of the content in our flagship collection won't be appropriate for K-12. So we curated a specific K-12 collection from the complete collection. And right now it's, I say over 400, but it's going to reach about 450 exclusive titles shortly. And again, we tried to focus on subject areas that we saw were used in K-12. A lot of climate change, sustainability, We have films on science, literature, mental health, and this is also available for 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. And that's just the URL to browse titles. But I will say, for any of these collections, if I'm happy to send title lists, because I know sometimes it's easier to just look through an Excel spreadsheet if you're looking for a title. So when in doubt, please reach out. I'm happy to provide that. Now, we also offer, I mentioned earlier, add-on collections, and this is another popular one, especially for K-12, which is a Good Docs Complete collection. So again, it's an add-on collection that's not included with our main collection, but it is a popular 300, a little over 300 title collection from one of our distribution partners. And I just wanted to mention Pragda is our Latinx distributor of, Latin America, Spanish, and Latinx cinema. They recently joined our platform as well. They are an add-on collection as well. And what's great about Pragda, it's obviously all in original language. And there are subsections such as an essential collection, there's a high school collection, a middle school collection. So I'm happy to provide quotes for any of those collections. And real quickly, the Global Environmental Justice Collection is also a popular standalone collection we see with K-12. It's extremely affordable. It is underwritten by a grant. And this comes in 1 and 3 year. And what is, it's a tight collection of 46 titles, and every single one has a curriculum guide. So it's a really useful collection to have. It's also an add-on collection. And I think I'm running a little bit out of time. So I think I mentioned most of this already. We license individual titles all the way up to the entire collection. We start at 1 week and go 1 semester, 1 year, 3 year, life of file. I just quickly wanted to mention there's an in-between, which is our token program. If you purchase a minimum of 10 tokens, you can redeem them at any time throughout the year. So that's a way to save on costs, because 10 titles is when our price breaks start for individual titles. And just to announce that our spring special is right now through the end of July, and we give an extra discount, and WiLS can share that with you as well. So I will, I think I mentioned most of this, but yeah, any minimum of 10 orders all the way up is discounted through the end of July. Now, I just wanted to quickly show you our marketing pieces, and this is for anyone that has subscribed. We want to make sure that our collection is successful on your campus. So we provide these in physical format and electronic format for you to share with your campus that you now have Docuseek. These are physical postcards. These are also flyers. We also provide physical bookmarks. They're really neat with QR codes to quickly access the collection. And we also offer these shelf talkers if you would like something to put in your library shelves with the same themes as the books. And that's it. I just want to say thank you again. Again, my name is Julie Wang. You can get in touch with me through my email, phone number. You can get in touch with me through Jeff. I do want to encourage you to sign up for our email list. We do our best to just keep you posted on content, give you ideas on how to use our collection. We recently have ramped up our social media, so please follow us. That's it. So thank you. I will stop sharing.
Thank you, Julie. It's always nice to have you here and to kind of see all the amazing things available in the various Docuseek collections. I'm always struck at what a huge spectrum of subject areas can be supported by these kinds of documentaries and materials. Like, you know, it always is a little bit eye-opening to think, oh yes, of course, there must be documentaries that would support these various different topics as well. So definitely worth looking at for anyone, really at any educational institution. You probably have something that a Docuseek documentary could help you with. All right.
We hope so. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Julie. All right, let me share my screen one more time just to get us ready for our next presenter. Coming to us again from Bloomsbury, from the other side of the Bloomsbury house, it is I think Katie's been with us before for Taco Tuesday. I'm excited to have you back. Katie joining us from Bloomsbury Publishing. Katie, are you ready to take over?
I am.
All right, it's all yours.
Perfect. Give me just one moment to share my screen. And let's see if I can pull up. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Yep, we can see, yeah, you've got PowerPoint open, we can see that.
Perfect. I'm going to try to bring it into slideshow mode and presenter mode. Can you see the main screen?
So we're seeing like the kind of presenter mode.
Got it. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that looks good.
Perfect. Okay, just had to switch it. Great. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for inviting me back for Taco Tuesday. I'm happy to be here. I am excited to present today on some Bloomsbury resources and some different purchasing models. And let's see, I think I hit the next slide. Okay. Oh, here we go. There we are. Just to introduce myself to those who don't know me, my name is Katie Bennett. I'm the Sales and Consortium Manager for the Americas for this large team we have here. And that's my contact information. If you have any questions after the presentation, please feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to answer. Today, I'm going to talk about maximizing your budget. I know a lot has happened within our industry in regards to different purchasing and pricing models changing. And so I kind of wanted to talk about how Bloomsbury is addressing those changes and the different types of models that we offer for all of our various platforms. The first platform that I'd like to talk about today is Bloomsbury Collections. This is our ebook hosting platform. It is where all of our ebooks are hosted, and they can be purchased at the subject level, at the collection level, title by title, as well as evidence-based acquisition. We do offer that model. And we do offer the ability to purchase our titles via Gobi as well. In regard to the platform, kind of what it looks like and the different features and benefits that it offers. We offer currently on the platform 30,000 titles. That's going to quickly grow to about 40,000 within the end of this calendar year. We have recently acquired the Rowman and Littlefield multiple imprints from them, as well as that specific imprint, which is going to drastically increase the size of our ebook collections and our ebook content on this platform. Right now, we've got over 45 different subject areas within the humanities, social sciences, and visual arts, but we also have content such as business and management, criminology, law. We've got the Hart Publishing and the C.H. Beck Nomos Publishing collections in law. So we do have a lot of law titles as well. And some notable imprints include T&T Clark, IB Tauris, Greenwood, Continuum, Bloomsbury Academic, and newly acquired Rowman and Littlefield. All of the titles on this platform are DRM-free, downloadable and printable at the chapter level with unlimited concurrency for your entire institution. So the price that you pay covers access for all of your users at your institution. We don't offer a single user or multi-user. It's just one price for everything. And speaking of our kind of our pricing and our flexible purchase models, we offer title by title. Collection level, you can ask for titles just at the publication year, for the imprint level, for a different subject area. And we now offer evidence-based acquisitions, not only direct, but through Gobi. This is a new adventure for us with Bloomsbury. It's something that we decided to partner with Gobi based on interest from librarians and from customers really who already buy titles via Gobi and have interest in running an EBA through them with Bloomsbury content. So that's something new that I wanted to highlight there and mention. This is sort of the homepage of what Bloomsbury Collections looks like. And if you can kind of see at the top, you can sort and filter by subjects, by different collections. You can look at our open access offerings as well. And then this is what an actual title looks like on the platform. So you'll see that the ebook pages match the print version of whatever title you're reading. We've got that table of contents over to the left that you can bounce back and forth between different chapters. If you know, okay, I'm in chapter 5 in my print text, I need to go ahead and jump there on this ebook reader. We offer the ability for any end user to create a personal account on the page on Bloomsbury Collections. And once they do that, they are able to cite, share, print, download, save any sort of ebook or piece of content, any sort of chapter that they were looking at, and come back and reference it at any time in the future. They can also search the full text of the titles. They can filter and sort by date, series, subject. It's really just a very simple, easy to use interface. Any images that are within a text appear directly in line with the text. So you're really getting the full view of what that title looks like in print, just as well as you are with this e-reader. We do offer MARC records and Counter5 usage, and you can be set up with an administrative account as a librarian to pull your usage stats, adjust your IP ranges, and add your logo to the site if you'd like. So in addition to Bloomsbury Collections and kind of our various purchase models, I did just want to touch on the fact that we offer one-time purchase for all of these different resources that you see listed on this screen within Bloomsbury. These are just the platforms. Within all of these platforms sit at a minimum, excuse me, at a minimum 1 to 2 collections. With upwards of 40 collections available on these platforms. Drama Online, I think we're already at 40 collections for just that one platform. Excuse me, all of the collections are available individually. So you can customize each platform to your library's specific and unique needs. And you can purchase or subscribe to whichever collections you want and leave the rest. So we really try to make it as flexible as possible and as easy as possible to build custom platforms specific to the courses and curriculums of your institution. For all of our resources, we offer all of the same features and benefits. So as I mentioned earlier, everything is priced for unlimited simultaneous users. We offer subscription and one-time purchase at the collection level, so you can build those custom platforms. We'd offer various methods of authentication, IP address, Open Athens, Shibboleth, username and password login if that's preferred. We also offer Counter5 usage statistics. We are currently in the process of upgrading to Counter 5.1. So once we kind of get there, we will obviously update our system to be compliant with Counter 5.1. And then there is an administrative portal that librarians can create an account on so that they can access those usage statistics at any point in time. We do offer free 30-day trials for all of our resources as well, so you can get a full picture of what those resources look like and how they function and what the content is included on those resources. You can look at it at the individual level if you just want to take a look at it, or you can set up one for your entire institution to trial it and explore and see how usage looks, see if it's actually getting used and maybe inform a purchase decision thereafter. We also, as I mentioned earlier, everything is DRM-free reading, downloadable and printable at the chapter level. We offer DOIs and MARC records and KBART files at the volume level for all of our book titles. You can display your institutional logo on any of the websites if you'd like. And then we are really making a big effort to conform to all accessibility standards. We're working on our ADA compliance as well. You know, we're working on that, and very aware and cognizant of all of the accessibility requirements that are continuing to develop and change as time goes on. And we also have digital promotional materials available for every resource and every collection. So you can promote them in your library, you can print them and promote them in the library, or you can send them as emails to end users, to faculty, to staff as well. And last but not least, I did just want to mention that we have a special offer for WiLS members that is going to start on Thursday. So from May 1st through June 30th, any WiLS member can take an extra 10% off on top of the existing WiLS discount of a one-time purchase price of any Bloomsbury digital resource. So normally that discount begins at around 15%. It would start at 25% with the highest potential discount of up to 40% off. And it's just for one-time purchase only. There are free 30-day trials available upon request for any of these resources. Definitely reach out to WiLS for a discounted quote. And that multi-module discount does still apply with this special offer. So it's on top of that. So yeah, I just wanted to announce that. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. That is really my last slide. So thank you so much. If you have any questions kind of about our different purchase models, our different resources, everything that we offer at Bloomsbury, please do let me know. I'm going to see if I can stop sharing my screen. Okay, there we go.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you all,
Thank
as
you.
always, for joining us. And I'll echo what Katie was talking about a little bit. Bloomsbury has tons of flexibility for, what you want. It seems like every couple of months, get a new spreadsheet from Katie with all of the kind of options and the various collections broken out, and make it very easy for us to make quotes. And they're always open to trying to make sure that you're getting the right resources you need from them. So please do reach out to us if you have any questions about anything Katie showed you or anything else that Bloomsbury has to offer. Thanks again for joining us, Katie.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, we're a little bit ahead of the game, but I can see that Luke is already here. Luke, I'm going to share my screen one more time just to kind of set things up for you. But if you're ready to go, we'll switch to you in just a moment. All right, so joining me for our fourth presentation today is Luke Miller, coming to us to talk about Fiero Code, and maybe, Luke, a preview of something new too? All right, great. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand things over to you, Luke.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for organizing these. I love the WiLS community and what you guys are all about, and just love partnering with our Wisconsin schools and libraries. Katie, thanks for your presentation too. You had me at Bloomsbury Food Library, so tell me more about that one. That's where I want to get set up with you guys, is the food library.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, I got two products I'm going to bring to you today. And I was thinking about how I wanted to present these. I talk about these products all the time. And, in the history of marketing and sales in the Western world, at some point post-World War II, we started getting all of the propaganda experts coming to the US and saying we need to change from a needs-based economy to a wants-based economy. And so our marketing and advertising change. This is a whole history lesson that has nothing to do with my products, but it's just where my thoughts have been lately. And I've got a couple extra minutes, so why not philosophically wax and wane with you all? But we changed from a needs-based economy to a wants-based economy, and the messaging changed from this is what our hammer, for example, is. It is this heavy, it's this many grams, it's this length, to change your life through hammering. So we changed our messaging from here's what the product is, very straightforward, to all of this mumbo jumbo about how it's going to change your life and all that stuff. It works. People buy that way. That's great. But I thought for today, at least, I'm going to try out doing the classic marketing methods, which is just here's what the product is. Here is exactly what it is. I'm not going to make any claims to changing your life, although maybe it will. But I'm going to share my screen. I think I already am. And I have two products to share with you. The first one is called Fiero Code. Fiero Code is a learn to code educational resource for libraries and schools. Whether you are a public library, a school library, or an academic library, folks are using Fiero Code to offer coding courses to their patrons and students. Fiero has lots of different courses. We cover lots of different types of coding, everything from HTML to CSS to JavaScript to Python. We even have this block-based coding language called Code Blocks, which is like Scratch or drag and drop coding languages for beginners. And we have very advanced content like React and Node.js and full stack app stuff. And then we even cover content for a couple codable robots like Ozobots and Spheros, and a couple maker devices like Makey and Raspberry Pi. It's an all-in-one coding solution. So everything that you need to learn how to code is right here. So if I wanted to go into the HTML course, hop into one of the levels on this profile, it saves your work. You can get back to it later. On this profile, I'm currently on level 5, but I'm going to go back to level 4 just to show you a good example. And you'll see it's all built in there. I've got some instructions. I got a little tutorial video, and then I've got a whole code space down below, and I could write anything in here that I want, say WiLS rocks, and I get my like little website preview here. So that's what Fiero Code is. It's an all-in-one learn to code resource. It's for ages 8 all the way up through adult learners, whether you're just starting to learn how to code and you want to learn how to build video games, or you want to get jobs in computer programming. We support all of those learners. Libraries will use Fiero, number one, as an e-resource, particularly in the public library and academic library setting, where patrons can just create accounts and start learning how to code from home or from their dorm or wherever they may be. Or number two, libraries will use us to run coding courses. So we touch on the programming side of libraries as well. You can take Fiero Code and use it in your library programming department. And the crazy thing is you don't have to know how to code. We have an on-demand training program. It's only a couple hours long, but library staff can go through our training, and then they're empowered to run code clubs, code camps, coding boot camps for adults with no coding expertise. So 2 ways that libraries are running or using Fiero Code. Last thing I'll say about Fiero Code is that we run 3 times a year coding contests. You can see the dates right here, but these are live coding contests for students. Ages 8 all the way up through adult learners. We've never done adult ages, but this summer we're going to do our first adult category as well. And these are live coding competitions. They last 2 months typically, and students can enter for free, and they have the chance to win amazing prizes from Fiero Code, where we will ship out Apple EarPods or Bluetooth speakers or all kinds of cool stuff that your students can win. We do first, second, and third place in now 3 age categories. So it's just an added service, added benefit. It's all included in Fiero, no extra cost or anything like that. That is what's going on with Fiero Code. We've got an admin side. You can run reports, get your stats. We've got library card authentication. All of that stuff is included as well. But this is the exciting part of Fiero Code. All right, product number 1. Hopefully I didn't get too much into it's going to change your life. Hopefully I just stuck to the bullet point of what it is. Product number 2, this is brand new, Cusco History. We just launched this not even a month ago, April 1st, and we've got our first batch of libraries that are using this. Cusco History is a history education software or app for early elementary, like ages 7 to 12, first, second, third, fourth grade, somewhere in there. Cusco History grows out of my co-founder, Breck Lesueur. For the last 10 years has been running a side project called Bedtime History for Kids podcast, which today is one of the top podcasts in the world for kids. Hundreds of thousands of listeners, millions of YouTube views, being used in classrooms around the world. It's just like blown up to this big thing. And we said, what if we could take all of that content that Breck's created? He's got hundreds of podcast episodes. And what if we turn it from passive learning, from like a 10-minute audio track or a 10-minute video when he converts them into YouTube videos? What if we take that and turn it into experiential learning? And that's exactly what we've done. So Cusco History is experiential learning for history for kids. So we've got a bunch of lessons in there today, and you can filter by the topic, the American history, ancient history, biography, etc. Or you can just jump in and start looking at specific lessons, however you want to filter it. But let's say we want to go by topics, and then let's say we find something that's interesting, like I don't know, a biography, for example. Now we've got a list of all of the lessons that we currently have, and we're adding new ones all the time. We've got a goal that we're going to have a bunch more by the end of the year. We've got a back catalog of hundreds of podcast episodes that are just waiting to be converted into lessons, but this is what we've got for launch. And so maybe we want to do the CSLP summer reading theme this summer is Color Your World. So we've got a couple different artists in here, but Frida Kahlo is a famous Mexican artist, and we've got a lesson on her. And so this takes you to the lesson overview page, and this is where the library facilitator, the teacher, as your libraries, school libraries are using this in your schools, or just teachers who are library patrons are going to take it and use it in their context. Or homeschool co-op parents are going to use it in their context, or just parents that want to use it with their kids are going to use it in their homes. This will take them to an overview page, and you can see the ages that this lesson is designed for, the topic, and all of our lessons end with an interactive activity. And so this gives you the prep for that activity, like a craft of some kind that your students can do at the end. So when you're ready, you got kids either huddled around your computer screen, or it's up on a projector or a TV screen for everybody to look at together. You start the lesson and it moves into lesson mode, where it's going to take you through 7 or 8 steps of working on an actual lesson, an interactive experience around this history lesson. So we start with a big question. All the lessons start with a big question. The students sit around and have a fun discussion that's facilitated by the adult. And then you move into the first of, in this situation, 3 videos. So what was an 8 or 10-minute podcast episode are now 2 or 3-minute video segments where you watch it, and it's going to deliver this really great interactive, like fun lesson about Frida Kahlo. And then it's going to move into a knowledge check where you can have a fun discussion with your students. Then from there, you'll go into another video lesson. From there, another knowledge check, a discussion question, which is always fun with these young learners, final video, and then a discussion question. And then you start to get into the activity itself. And that's it. So it just guides you through step by step, and you've got a program in a box done for you. You can imagine a youth programming or children's programming librarian being able to sit down, very little prep time, and be able to offer a 45-minute to an hour experience with your students. So that's what's going on with Cusco History. Lots of different things in there, adding new content all the time. In fact, we just added that Frida Kahlo lesson a week or 2 ago, based on working with our first batch of libraries that we're talking about summer reading and wanting to do stuff there. But whether you want to just do one-off programs like for Women's History Month or Black History Month, or you want to run a 6 to 8 week dedicated history club or program for students, Cusco History is going to support you in doing all of that stuff. So that's 2 products, Fiero Code, Cusco History. Pricing for all of these is really simple. It's unlimited users, unlimited access. It's a sliding scale based on your population served. Super affordable for libraries of all sizes, schools, academic contexts, all sizes. And to get a quote for that, just reach out to Jeff at WiLS, and he can get you set up with all that stuff. We can also do free trials for all of it. So we, I forget if you go to, I'd probably just start with Jeff, and then we can get you set up with free trials on our end. But that would enable you to actually log in, create accounts, and noodle around in there and see what it's like for yourself. Your staff are also invited to check out those free trials. We do have also discounts that WiLS has negotiated on your behalf. Very, very good discounts. So you're getting a better price than anybody else in the country. So Fiero Code, Cusco history, learn to code, learn history. And hopefully, again, this was my stripped down marketing as if it was 1920s. This is what the product is. If that resonates with you, great, let's talk more. If not, I'm not gonna manipulate you into trying to buy it. Jeff, back to you.
Luke, I love it. Thank you. I think I'm very impressed with the shift in strategy here, and just like, here's what it does. Here's what you're
It's
going
refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. So I think that will resonate. It certainly did with me. And I'm very excited to see Cusco history coming on. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I will reiterate what Luke said. If you've got questions about Fiero Code, if you've got questions about Cusco history, if you want trials, if you need pricing, anything, you can always reach out to us here at WiLS. Best way to hit us up is always going to be coop@wils.org. And that is true actually for everything you saw today. So anything that you saw from Luke and his group, anything you saw from our Bloomsbury friends or from our Docuseek friends, we're always happy to. If we don't have the answer here at WiLS, we're gonna bring the rep or the company founder online to answer your questions. So thank you. I will say thank you to everybody for presenting to us today. I'm going to share my screen again because I'm a little bit now I'm off script. So let me get myself set back up and we can kind of get to our conclusion for today. Oh, here we go. Okay. So again, thank you, Luke. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Allie. Thank you also for joining us, Paul, from Bloomsbury. Thank you to all of our presenters and all of our really valued WiLS vendor partners for always having such cool stuff to offer our members and for working with us to get them resources that they need, focusing on the needs, getting them the resources that they need at the prices that they can afford. It's really valuable. Thank you to everyone watching the session, whether you were here live or if you're picking up the recording after the fact. Thanks for joining us for another Taco Tuesday. The train is still rolling. We're going to roll into May by the end of this week, and our next Taco Tuesday session will be 2 weeks from today. That is on May 13th. We will be, and here's a little preview for the vendor folks here on the call. We'll be recruiting for our next sort of round of Taco Tuesday sessions, which runs from June through December. We'll start sending those messages out to our vendor reps soon to get a whole nother semester, I guess you'd call it, of Taco Tuesday sessions queued up for you all. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you all again for joining us, both presenters and viewers. And always do reach out to us here at WiLS if you've got any questions about anything you saw today. Have a great afternoon. I'm not sure where everyone is located geographically, but here in Wisconsin, it's cooler than it was yesterday, but it's still pretty nice out. So I encourage you to get outside and get a little bit of fresh air if you can.